Hi, my name is Lindsey Ecker, and I am the founder of the Healing Power of Nature, which is a community where I help to guide you to use nature's tools to bring balance and wellness to your life. And I'm so excited to be able to share some wonderful exercises with you today. So I want you to start off by grabbing a piece of paper and a pen or a journal, because there will be lots of information that I share that you can write down. So if you don't know me yet, I am the founder of the Happy and Healthy Summit, as well as the Holistic Health and Wellness Expos that we have locally here in Essex County. I also am a certified mindfulness teacher, an advanced Psyche facilitator, and an Access Bars practitioner, as well as being an aromatherapist. And I use all of these tools to help you to create more balance in the emotions that you have in your life and to help ground you into the present moment so that you're not rethinking things that have happened in the past or worrying about things that are yet to come in the future. So hopefully these exercises today will take you from survival mode or in that fight or flight stress response and into a more peaceful and relaxed state. So the first thing that I want to share with you is my Mindful Movement for Mental Health program. And this program was born out of my own need. So a few years ago, I was diagnosed with major depressive disorder at around the same time that my second son was diagnosed with some significant digestive issues that were really complicating his sleep and his ability to feel physically well throughout the day. And as I contemplated and figured out that I needed to support my mental health, I wondered how I could do that and take care of my children. And so I created a series of activities where they would feel like I was playing and interacting with them, but that were also brain-based and research-based to show that they were going to sustainably help me and help me to see long-lasting change. And also recognizing that that would give them the tools to be more resilient. So if they experience difficulties in their life, it wouldn't be as difficult as what I had experienced. So originally it was mindful movement for moms and kids, because it was something that caregivers could do with their children to share those tools together. And then it evolved as more and more people came to me sharing that they needed these tools, or someone that they really loved and cared about needed these tools as well. So it is a 5-part series that goes through the 5 senses, because when we are grounded in the present moment, we are not in a state of depressiveness or overthinking like we might be if we were thinking about the past. And we're also not in a state of anxiety or fear, worrying about something yet to come in the future. I can only see, smell, taste, hear, and touch what's going on here and now. So today I thought we could run through some exercises for touch. So this is where you might want to get out your journal and write some of these things down so that you can continue to use these. Because this is like brushing our teeth or eating that apple a day. We don't do these one time and experience a shift, but rather we commit to doing them on a daily basis and watch how our body and our mind respond so positively. So what I'm going to ask you to do is take your right hand and bring it across to your left shoulder. And one by one, I want you to press each of your fingers into your shoulder, one at a time individually. And let's do that again, and let's breathe in with each finger and out. And the next one in and out. Continuing to press those fingers in, breathing at your own pace. And just noticing how your body relaxes. Good. When you're done, I want you to take the left arm and I want you to bring it around to your right shoulder and do the same thing, breathing in as you press and out and in. Good. Continue that at your own pace, just pressing each finger in individually, feeling the sensation of that intentional touch. Good. Before we move on, you may have heard about the research around the benefits of hugs. And I'm sure you have felt before the power of a hug from a friend or a family member, or holding hands with someone, whether they were excited or whether they were going through a difficult time. When we hug or give that level of touch for 20 seconds, we know that our immune response can be up to doubled in our system, and we know that the stress hormone cortisol significantly goes down along with blood pressure. And those are things that we want. We want to support our emotions because up to 85% of physical illness is rooted in emotional imbalance and stress response. So what we're going to do is we're going to do both arms at the same time, as if we are giving ourselves a hug. And now what I want you to do is I want you to interchange between pressing in with a hand or one of your fingers on the right hand, and then pressing in with a finger on the left. And you can even experiment pressing in with your whole hand on the right, and then your whole hand on the left, and then both together. And this is a wonderful exercise to do with your eyes closed. So let's take a deep breath in, close our eyes. And as we breathe out, experiment with that touch and that pressure, interchanging between the left side and the right side. And then pressing in on both sides at the same time with one final breath. And release. Good. We also just participated in an activity where in multiple ways we cross the midline of the body. When we interact with our right side and our left side at the same time, we support the brain in using both the right hemisphere and the left hemisphere, or our emotional brain and our logical brain. And the more often we can have those two sides of the brain working at the same time while doing something that is calming the body, the more we are creating new neural pathways, which is like roadmaps to wellness and balance and calm. So we're going to do one more activity. This one is one that we can do if we're sitting in a meeting, if we are waiting at the doctor's office, if we are in any situation, maybe we're in an interview and we are feeling stressed and we want to calm ourselves down. You can simply clasp your hands together and put them in your lap. No one will be the wiser that you are in the middle of taking care of your mental health and your mind. And again, you're simply going to interchange, pressing in that left hand and that right hand. And you know, sometimes I have to be really intentional about making sure I know which hand is supposed to press in next. And that focus on what I'm doing and that physical sensory experience of my body is shifting my mind from that worry or that stress response into something that's going on right now, and it's centering me, and it's grounding me, and it's supporting me to be able to do that in an even more difficult situation the next time. And that is what resilience is. It's that we can go through those difficult experiences with even more ease. So one more touch that I want to share with you just very quickly, but you can find more information about this on my website. as well as a PDF that I have available for you, is called tapping or EFT. And there are different reflex points on the body, similar to the 32 points on the head that I work with when I'm doing an access bars session, where I'm gently touching different points on your head in a certain sequence to again support those healthy neural pathways related to relaxation rather than related to stress. And so when we tap, whether we use what I like to call the karate chop point, the inside of the eye, the outside of the eye, under the nose, under the mouth, on the collarbone, or the top of the head, when we activate those reflex points, especially if we use both hands at the same time, we are activating a calming response for the central nervous system, and we can add in a thought or a belief or a series of words to that tapping to further embed that relaxation response into the body. So I love to start with, I am safe. All is well. Even if there is stress, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And so you can try with your own statement when you're at home to tap through some of those spots with deep breathing and notice how it changes the way that you're feeling. And I'm always happy to do one-on-one, helping people to uncover what statement would be the most helpful for their body and what sequence of tapping points would be the most helpful. And of course, if you want to just be able to take a nap and relax while that's being done for you, then an access bars session is perfect, because you simply lay on the massage table or in the recliner chair while I gently massage your head and help you to create those new, more balanced neural pathways. So the second set of tools that I want to share with you today comes from another course that I teach, which is called Moving Through Emotions. And I love talking to people about how they are feeling. And I learned very quickly when working with people who were managing their mental health that there weren't a lot of safe spaces for people to fully share the emotions that they were experiencing. And so this course goes through different emotions: anger, anxiety and fear, grief and loss, and even joy can sometimes be something that we hold back on because we want to be careful of how other people will see us in those big emotions. But when we don't fully feel our emotions, then we are suppressing them or pushing them down. And our body wants to communicate with us in so many ways, including in those emotional ways, encouraging us to slow down or to look within, to reflect, to make changes and shifts. And if we push those messages down, they're going to surface in another way. And like I already mentioned, 85% of our physical illnesses that are messages our body is trying to give us were a message that was originally tried to be given as an emotion. So we want to feel our emotions fully, but we do want to do it in a safe and gentle way. So anger is the first emotion that we look at in this series because I find anger to be the one that is most often suppressed. Especially women don't feel that it's appropriate for them to be angry with another person or with a situation. And so we often bottle that anger up inside. But it's really important for us to be able to feel that. So there is a breathing technique that we do during our session on anger. And if you go to my website, you can see a video of me demonstrating that. But for today, I want us to look at one of the other pieces that I use in the course, which is artistic journaling. And you've probably heard of journaling before, where you simply write words onto a page. But what I have found, again, through my brain research, is that images and color activate our brain at much higher levels than simply black and white words on a page. And so we want to use that to our advantage to feel those emotions, but then also shift through them and be able to release them so that we can move back into that peace and calm. So what I want you to do is grab that journal if you have it handy, and if you don't, you can always pause this video and go and grab one, or take some notes and then come back to this after. I want you to use as many colors as you have on hand, and I want you to draw a big fire that takes up the whole page. So you decide what that fire looks like, whether that's a campfire, whether that's a fire in a fireplace, whatever that image, the image that comes up for you. And when you've done that, at the top of the page, I want you to write, concerning anger, what is being suppressed? And now I want you to set a timer for 11 minutes. It's important that it's 11. Don't choose a shorter amount of time. And I want you to write whatever comes up as you mull over that statement, concerning anger, what is being suppressed. And if nothing comes up at first, because I do want your pen to be writing for that full 11 minutes, simply copy the statement down over and over again until you experience that shift. You'll notice that things begin to come up for you, and you can just be aware of them and be curious about them, not push them aside or push them away, and just continue to let them come up. And when that 11-minute timer goes off, and this part we'll do together, and feel free to do this along with me, and you can always come back to this again after you've journaled. I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to take a deep breath. And now I want you to pull up that image of that fire that was behind all of those words that you wrote around suppressed anger. And so just with your mind's eye, see that fire in front of you. And now with every time that you breathe in with your eyes closed, I want you to recognize one of the elements of that anger. And as you breathe out, imagine that you are breathing onto that fire and releasing one piece. And as you continue to breathe in and breathe out, that fire gently gets smaller and smaller until it's an ember that you can tuck safely inside, keeping it for when you need it again. And you can open your eyes. So that's just one example of a piece of what we look at when we're trying to move through those emotions and experience them gently. And one of the things that I do whenever I'm working in a course with clients or one-on-one and doing a session is to just use aromatherapy as a way to be more gentle as we move through this. So when you have something that's safely diluted, like this Balance blend that's already diluted, you can just apply it to the back of the neck and massage that in. You can apply it to the vagus nerve, which runs along the mastoid bone behind the ear, or to the pulse points. And what's wonderful about that is that the olfactory receptors in our nose are directly connected to the limbic center of our brain, which is where memory and emotion are stored. And if you've been around athletes, you've maybe heard of muscle memory that they use to help them do really well in competition. Even as a piano player, my muscle memory helps me to play music without having the music in front of me. or as a typist, it helps you to type without looking at the keys. We can use this same idea of muscle memory to help us experience that healing and balanced feeling when we're out in our day-to-day and not in the healing session, by bringing the scent that we used or the sensory experience that we used during the healing session into our everyday. I do a whole workshop on anchoring scent where we look at pulse testing, muscle testing, and a health scanner that I have to choose which oils would be best for you to create a custom blend so that we can anchor that scent in your memory as being a healing scent for you. So that when you smell that smell, you go into that relaxation response. So I hope these tools have been helpful for you. I hope that you feel more relaxed as we've sat together and that you've got some great notes. I would love to be able to help you. I work in Leamington and in Kingsville doing workshops and retreats as well as one-on-one sessions. And if you mention this video when you contact me, either via my website or email, then I will give you 25% off a course of your choice, or 3 one-on-one sessions for the price of 2. So it was wonderful being able to spend this time with you, and I hope that you're able to have a beautiful year feeling happy and healthy.